Welcome to this explainer. There's this phenomenon that happens every single year here, yet it rarely gets talked about out loud. As medical educators at Westminster Multispecialty Clinic over in Dubai Healthcare City, we see a very specific, unspoken emotional toll take hold of our patients around June and July. It's that time of year, right? Finding a parking spot is suddenly a breeze, but the silence, well, it can be deafening. We call it the Dubai Solo Summer. Now, this isn't about the heat, and it's definitely not about those out-of-office replies piling up in your inbox. It's about the profound shift that happens when the family leaves for the holidays and you stay behind. So let's dive right into this and look at what actually happens during these long, quiet months. For a lot of the patients we see, the solo summer doesn't just kick off with a change in the weather. It starts with a really specific, almost visceral experience: the airport drop-off. You know the drill. You park, you wrangle the bags, you say everything you need to say in those hurried little minutes before the departure gate just swallows your family up. And then you drive back on Sheikh Zayed Road, totally alone. Suddenly the city just feels entirely different. It feels bigger somehow. You're heading back to an apartment that went from full and chaotic to very, very still. This drive, it's the exact moment when the practical reality of, keeping the job running and paying for those expensive flights collides with a sudden, really heavy physical isolation. And our patients often describe this very specific feeling to us. It's a quiet that literally has nothing to do with noise. We hear sentiments exactly like the quote you're seeing here all the time. People return to empty apartments and experience a quiet that is just heavy. You literally watch the city empty out. Restaurants are totally subdued. Group chats go completely silent while everyone else is posting photos from Europe or South Asia. The friends you normally just call up for a quick coffee, they're simply gone. You're left doing the exact thing you came here to do, but in a city that suddenly feels a lot less like a place you chose and kind of more like a place you're just stuck in. When staying behind gets heavy, let's look at the clinical perspective of this really unique psychological pressure cooker. What's really remarkable about the impact of the solo summer is just how subtle the symptoms can actually be. At Westminster Multispecialty Clinic, these are the specific physiological and emotional signs we always tell our patients to look out for. Maybe your sleep feels completely unrefreshing, even if you're getting a solid 8 hours. Or you feel this strange flatness, Work wins don't really register, and the weekends just feel like something you have to survive. You might even catch yourself mindlessly scrolling on your phone just to fill that quiet gap in the evening. Or maybe you're snapping at small things or pulling away from the few social invites you do get. Look, none of these are catastrophic on their own, but stretched over weeks, yeah, they really wear a person down. The reality of expat life. To really understand the solo summer, we have to look at the unique architecture of expat life itself. You might be wondering, why is it so hard to just ask for help? Well, because on paper, you're completely fine. The outside view of Dubai expat life is frankly glamorous. The career is moving, the apartment is modern, the salary provides a great lifestyle. But the inside view, that's a different story. In return for all those things, you're living at a massive distance from almost everyone who deeply, truly knows you. You've built a life here, sure, but the architecture of that life can actually be quite thin. During the year, a jam-packed schedule and your professional identity kind of mask that thinness, but the solo summer, it strips all those distractions right away. When the video calls end and you've still got 4 hours to kill before sleep, that thin support network becomes glaringly obvious. And when that noise finally stops, this underlying question almost always forces its way to the surface. Is this the life I actually want? Do I have the relationships here that would hold me if something actually went wrong? The silence of a solo summer practically forces you to confront this. For some of our patients, this question is incredibly clarifying, but for others, it's deeply frightening. We believe both reactions are really important data points. The stress and burnout that quietly accumulates through months of overwork surfaces right here in the summer stillness, simply because there's finally enough silence to hear it. What actually helps us? Let's move away from just white-knuckling our way through the summer and focus on some genuine care strategies. The usual advice you hear is to just stay busy, right? Sign up for a gym class, pack your schedule, make constant plans. But honestly, busyness is often just a tool people use to avoid feeling what they're feeling, and eventually, it just stops working. Our clinical approach is a lot less prescriptive and much more grounding. First off, just acknowledge that this is hard without immediately trying to fix it. Tell one specific human being that you are finding it difficult. You'd be amazed at the immense relief that comes from that simple honesty. And instead of a jam-packed schedule, focus on establishing a dependable routine. Give your day a predictable shape. One of the absolutely crucial physical indicators we watch for is sleep disruption. This is often the very earliest sign that your body is registering the stress your mind is trying so hard to quietly manage. If your nights have become difficult, maybe your sleep is super light, or you literally can't fall asleep before 2 a.m., our psychiatry specialists view this as a major symptom. It's not just some minor inconvenience caused by the summer heat. It's a real sign that the combination of isolation and a disrupted routine is impacting your physiological baseline. It really needs to be named, and it definitely needs to be addressed. A callback to yourself. How can we actually use this quiet time differently? Instead of viewing this quiet time as a punishment or just a gap you have to survive until September, what if we viewed it as a vital opportunity? The absence of the usual noise makes space for something incredibly honest. So here are 3 actionable steps, based directly on our clinical experience, to help you navigate this. Step 1. Let people know it's hard. Just say it out loud. Not to worry your family, but because speaking the truth actually changes the weight of it. Step 2. Establish a dependable routine, just like we talked about. Be honest with yourself about whether you're just killing time or actually living in it. And step 3, connect with specialist support before a crisis hits. Look into what psychiatric support looks like early on, because seeking mental health support is a completely normal, healthy part of navigating expat life. We really want to completely redefine what strength looks like and de-escalate the stigma around psychiatric care. Reaching out isn't failing, it's paying attention. There's this massive assumption out there that mental health services are only for, a total breakdown. That simply isn't true. The quiet apartment, the solo summer, that flatness creeping in by week 3, these are all completely legitimate reasons to speak to someone. Our team is here to hold these conversations carefully long before anything falls apart. So I want to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative thought. What is this summer quiet asking of you? Is it asking you to slow down? Is it asking you to reevaluate your support systems? Sometimes the discomfort is simply information waiting to be understood. If this summer is already feeling heavier than you expected, please know you don't have to carry it alone. Our psychiatry specialists at Westminster Multispecialty Clinic in Dubai Healthcare City understand exactly what expat life asks of you. We're here, and you can reach out whenever you're ready. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and definitely take care of yourselves this summer.